Good morning, shrimpy people, everybody out there. Thank you for joining my TED Talk. Today we're going to talk about shrimp. So, good morning, everybody. Glad to be here. Was doing some shrimpy things last night, creating content, all that fun stuff, and I'm pretty tired. Almost didn't wake up to do the stream, so needed a little bit extra time to get started today. So 10:15 instead of 10 o'clock. And of course, Jamie, thank you so much for calling me out on that. Definitely appreciate it. All right, so who do we got in here? Looks like we got a few people. Wake up, the day is half over. It's only 10 o'clock. It's not too bad. You know, it's a late start, but it's a good one. And the shrimp are deciding to move the food. I watched Mark stream 6 hours ago. Did Mark? Oh, you must have watched the old stream. I was going to say, I don't think he streamed 6 hours ago. Sharpie's Fish and Phantoms. Hello, hello. Good morning. Already been dark here for 90 minutes. Yeah. Good morning, Big Z. Ryan's in the house. Welcome. Now, I like to start out every stream by thanking all of my channel members. So, big shout out to Shelly Speet at Lucky Aquatics. You are amazing. You know, she's a sponsor of my Dragon Blood tank. So, thank you so much, Shelly. Bob Moss Nano Tanks. If you like shrimp and quirky Canadians, then go check out Bob Moss over at his channel. Hulk Logan's Aquatics. He jumped in here one time and haven't seen him since, but definitely appreciate you, bud, and hope to see you again soon. Robert Redman, a fan favorite. He is always here, always hanging out. And of course, the elusive and mysterious Tater Salad. So, Tater Salad, you're awesome. Thank you so much, bud. And then, of course, the one and only Jamie Anderson. Thank you, sir. My lovely wife, Amber, and then Big Daddy, Mark from Mark Shrimp Tanks. So thank you all for becoming a member. Definitely appreciate it. Let's get an emoji bomb from all of our members. Yeah, emoji bomb, little tiny shrimps. What? So thank you guys so much for that. Definitely appreciate it. I was able to use your contributions to go buy more shrimp yesterday, so stay tuned for future content. Yeah, it's probably too early for me, Jamie, because with the time change, if he's doing it early morning, it's late night for me, and I'm playing video games or ready to relax. Jamie, you don't have to do that, but you are greatly appreciated. Definitely appreciate you, man. Thank you for the super chat. You're awesome. Absolutely super appreciative. You're amazing, man. And let's move these guys. So the shrimp are all excited to be on camera today as well. I took all the lids off, moved some plants around, got the lights going, so the tanks are looking super bright. All the shrimp are swimming around, and you know, super happy to be here. So that's good. Yellowstone Aquatics, welcome. Thanks for joining the stream. Good to see you. John says, scratching my head trying to figure out where to put baby Shellys and Corys at the moment. I'm going to need more tanks. Yes, that is the all-time struggle of everybody all the time let's correct that. We always need more tanks. Not enough space, too many fish out there. I know Ryan will take some of those off your hand. So yes, congratulations to Ryan Z. He went with me to Mike Coleman's house, the gentleman who I purchased a lot of my shrimp from, and he got his first set of Caradina shrimp. So round of applause for Ryan. Joining the hobby, creating another addiction, another shrimp nerd. Welcome to the group. One of us, Google gobble, Google gobble. And Jamie says the $5 Canadian dollars was for Amber, not for me. It's okay, you know, she likes Monopoly money. Get it? Because it's Canadian dollars. It looks like play money. No worries, Jamie. Thanks for stopping in, man. I definitely appreciate it. Even if you're not contributing, you know, the views definitely help. And don't forget to hit that like button. You know, that does help. Any extra attention to the channel helps with contributions, stuff like that, and people can see my channel more. John says, wrong time of year to be selling. You should shift some Neos, Skittles, and Bristlenose this weekend. I feel you. Definitely in the colder months now. I know I had to break out my thick blanket last night. Not something we get used to here in Arizona. And it's probably not even that cold. It's just 60 degrees Fahrenheit, which is cold to us. So I've had the camera on the blue bolts for a little bit. I figured I would get them swarming, get them all excited for food for you guys. But let's back this up a bit, because now that we got a decent pile going, we don't really need the macro footage. We can just throw it on there. Look at all them guys. I need to start culling this tank. So any more experienced shrimp keeper out there, I notice a lot of these blue bolts have some gold to them. Would you consider culling that, or is that something that you would just keep? And I never kill my shrimp, so when I cull, I just have another tank that I put them into, unless, of course, that tank crashes, which it was unintentional deaths. Yes. Yeah, it rained here too, Ryan. Ryan says it rained here last night. John says, people are buying silly Christmas stuff, not fish. Fools. Yes, you should be buying Christmas fish. That should be the thing that you're doing. I know, Jamie, 60 Fahrenheit, negative 20 Celsius. What's that in Fahrenheit? I think it's like 10 degrees. Oh, negative 20 Fahrenheit. I gotcha. Yeah, that's cold, man. I don't want any of that. You keep that. But it gets 120 degrees Fahrenheit here. Look at me. I'm showing off my chest. Don't need to see that. No, nobody wants to see that. Yes, I think we would all like that. Christmas shrimp, fish, plants. Yes. Yes. All right. So what does everybody want for Christmas? Are you asking for any fish-related stuff, any shrimp-related stuff? What's on your Christmas list in regards to fish? Dang, these guys are really going to town. John says, I'd split them off into another colony just to see if they breed true and go back to blue. For the golds, there's quite a few of them that I see, so I'm wondering if it's just a in the genes as far as that gold color, because there's a lot of them that are super white. They got that dark blue head and then white bodies, and the golds look cool too, but it kind of looks muddled, like it's a little dirty. Blue Tune, thanks for joining the stream. Greetings from Northeast Scotland. Temp is 10 degrees Celsius. Yes, you guys are definitely cold. I'm sitting here in shorts and a t-shirt, and it's probably 70 degrees in my house, and that's cold for me. I've been wearing gray sweatpants and a sweatshirt around the house for a while. Dana Ferris says negative 17 here. Yeah, I'm lucky to have the warm weather here in the winter, but also in the summer, because our winters are really mild, but our summers are blazing hot. Like, it's people die because it gets so hot here. You just got to be careful, stay inside. I'm sure when it's a blizzard out and snowing, people don't go outside where you guys are. So it's same concept. When it's just super hot, you stay inside, which I think is more dangerous because it's misleading. Like, if there's clearly a blizzard outside, you're not going to go out there. But if it's just hot, you can't tell. It's not like it, you can't see the hot coming down. Dana Ferris says, going to pick up some black TBs for my Christmas gift to me. There you go. Yeah, the black Taiwan bees are really pretty. I like those guys. I have some that aren't the highest grade. They've got a white spot on their head and a white spot on the tail, but I actually think those look better than just the straight all black. Won't catch me outside. Grant from the Garden of Eden, welcome, man. Good to see you in here. He says, won't catch me outside if it's under 60. Yeah, I'm with you. He's from Florida, so He's got the same climate as I do, but a little bit more moisture in the air. All right. Gonna move on to the next tank. We got the Orange Eye Blue Tigers and Black King Kong Extremes. And got quite a few babies in here, so I'm just gonna toss some food in there. Hopefully they don't take it too far away, so we get some footage going. Oh, and she's on it right away. Look at that. Go, mama, go. Let's get a close-up of you little beauty, you. She almost looks purple. Where's my macro lens? Let's get a good shot. Beep. Is it better one, camera two. Better camera one, camera two. Oh, there we go. Look at those colors. She's got some brown to her, but it looks purple. Oh, shaking the camera. It's absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. Like my Facebook page for more fishy content. Thanks, Nightbot, but Facebook is dying. John says, all I want for Christmas is for it to be over with. That and coming out of the LFS with less fish, shrimp, and snails, but more money. Yeah, that's always good. Being able to get rid of some of your stuff is always nice. Won't catch me outside if it's over 60. How's this look? Whoa, spaz. That baby just spazzed out. Look how super blue that guy is. Oh, that's a Black King Kong too. All right, I'm done messing with it. I promise I won't touch it. I won't touch it again. Just going to leave it where it was. So Grant asked, you like StreamYard over Streamlabs? StreamYard is what I'm used to. So it allows me to use two cameras. I'm sure I can do the same thing with Streamlabs. It's just a matter of me learning how to do it. And then because I'm over Wi-Fi, I feel like Streamlabs takes a lot more internet. So once I move to the new house, I'm hoping to get a computer dedicated just for streaming. So that way I can have a little bit of a stronger machine that's hardwired in, and then I can do more stuff. I can have all the fancy overlays and, all the fun stuff that everybody else does. And I'm not going to go overkill with it because I want the main thing to be just my shrimp and myself, because those are the two things that everybody comes for. But as far as a basic, just getting started, I've got $2,500 subscribers. I feel that StreamYard is adequate for my level and what I need. And, people will jump in and come hang out. So that's always good. John says, I got somewhere around 150 bristlenose, 100 shrimp, and some snails ready to sell at the minute. There you go. That's awesome, man. Yeah, it definitely pays for the hobby when you can turn around and sell stuff like that. So these Orange Eye Blue Tigers, I waffle between culling them all the time, because this female up front, you see how she has that kind of reddish brown back to her, but her head's super blue. Someday she'll look super brown, someday she'll look super blue. So it's hard to tell if I want to cull her or not. But if I start seeing a lot more of those clear babies, a lot more of the brown babies, I'm going to have to start hardcore culling some of these. But the goal with this tank has always been to get blue pentos. So we want to cross the Black King Kong Extremes with the blue tigers to get those blue pentos. So that's always the goal. So as long as I can just have a good genetic swath to go with, over time, I'm just going to cull the babies and take what I want and put it in its own tank. So the 5 tanks I have right now, I've got my Blue Bolt Colony, my Crystal Reds and Blacks, my Black King Kongs and Orange Eyes, my Tangerine Tigers and Blue Auras, and then I've got the Calcio tank, which is the Dragon Bloods. And my goal for all of these tanks is to just get them to breed, get them to interbreed and crossbreed and reproduce. And then once I set up the new tanks, I'm going to start just grabbing the best. So I'm going to grab the best orange-eye blue tiger, the best black King Kong extremes, and put them together so that way I can start breeding those lines. And then any color patterns that I like, I'm going to separate those out too and start to breed those, because if I can get my own line of blue pintos, that would be cool. And I know you can just go buy blue pintos, but to know that I did it myself is awesome. Let's see. Catch up on chat. Nightbot, become a member of the Poseidon Pets Posse. Yes, thank you so much, Nightbot. If you would like to have all of these fun emojis, look at that emoji bomb, feel free to become a member. All proceeds go back to my tanks. I don't profit from anything. I put it all back into the channel to continue to create content for you guys, because that only seems right to me. John says, pays for the hobby. It's my job now. Pays my bills. Yes, that is absolutely the way to do it, John. If you can get to that level to where you can sell enough fish and shrimp to pay your bills, that's what it's all about. Grant says, went to go pick up the kids from the bus, lost internet. I'll be back. No worries, man. Thanks for popping in. So yeah, you can see the orange eyes, like that one up front. It's got some blue to it, but it definitely has some dark brown, and it's a little bit clear. Even the babies right there are kind of clear. So those are something that I would cull out eventually, and over time I'm going to. But for now, I'm just happy that they're in there and breeding and doing their thing. And you can see that juvenile that just dropped in. It's not even a baby anymore. I'd love to say a baby, but no, that's a juvenile. It's super blue. So super blue, orange-eye blue tiger. And I could see one of them. So if you saw my last video, I have some babies in here that have blue bodies, a white headband, and a white back band. So you can actually see them there on the left coming up onto the screen. I'll see if I can get a good shot of it real quick. So yeah, look at those guys there. You see that? So we may have successfully crossed the orange-eye blue tigers with the black King Kong extremes to get those blue pintos. Now, here's the catch. Black King Kong extremes, when they're juveniles like this, they look blue. I was talking to Shelly Speed at Lucky Aquatics, as well as Mike Coleman, my shrimp guy, and they both had mentioned that those types of babies, those black King Kongs, always have blue babies. So those may just be a lower grade black King Kong extreme, or we may have successfully crossed the orange eyes. So they don't have the orange eyes, but they have that stripe, which is neat. So if they stay blue and have that stripe, that's what we want. That's what we're going for. Dana Ferris says, that's the best part of the hobby, is creating new lines. Absolutely. I'm excited that I'm into Caridina now because I can get into crossbreeding. I've always loved dogs, and I've always loved the process of making dogs. And when I say making dogs, I mean early man taking wolves, domesticating them, picking out traits that they absolutely love. Just the idea of the selective breeding has always fascinated me. So to find a creature that, I can raise humanely and be able to experiment and crossbreed and do what I want to without, jeopardizing the welfare of the animal, as well as creating a lot more animals that are going to go to, shelters and possibly euthanized, because I would absolutely love to breed dogs, and it just takes a lot of space. And there's a chance that, most of them end up in the shelter and just homeless, and it's not good. We've got a dog problem. We won't talk about that, but so it's cool to be able to experiment with creatures like this and be able to selectively breed and just create your own lines and do what you want. I love the idea of selective breeding and all that. So I'm excited for these little guys to grow up. And you can see there's quite a few of them with that blue body and white stripe. So hopefully they retain that blue color. Yellowstone Aquatic says, man, I can't wait to get my RODI unit. So Yellowstone, if you are not going to be setting up, ooh, look at that juvenile squirrel. Look at those up front. Those are amazing. Those guys are super pretty. So back to what I was saying. If you are not going to set up a bunch of tanks, so if you just want like one Caradina tank, what you can do is a lot of the gas stations or grocery stores, they sell RO water in the refill station. So if you've ever gone to a grocery store and seen like the coin operated or dollar bill operated 5-gallon water machines, that's all I do. So what I have is I went to the grocery store and I just bought a bunch of 5-gallon jugs. I got about 6 of them, and I fill them up once a week. And I just check the RO or I check the TDS once I get it. I don't have an RO unit, so I run all of these tanks off of just going to the grocery store and filling up water. And I probably go through 4 or 5 jugs a week, which is, it's about $1.70 to fill up each jug. So maybe $10 a week, which it's not bad for me having six Caradina tanks, to where if you just have one, you could even go to the grocery store and just buy a gallon of distilled water. So if you buy a gallon of distilled water, it's, usually $1. And if you have a 10-gallon tank, that's your water change for a week or 2 weeks. 10% 1 gallon. So it's very cost effective that way, because you don't want to spend, $300 to $400 on an RO unit if you only need 4 to 5 gallons a month. That's RO units are nice to have, but there's ways to do it. So don't use that as an excuse. Go out and get some RO water. There's all kinds of resources for you, because I was using that as well, not as an excuse. Not trying to say you're using it as an excuse. I'm rambling, but that was my thought too, was, I don't have an RO unit. I don't have an RO unit. I can't do this. Everybody has an RO unit. And I'm like, why? Well, let's just go get some water. It's just water that's been filtered and treated. So, and the rest is history. And that was a little bit of a tangent. Let's have some more caffeine. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So John says, quit my job in June, and since then the fish, etc. sales of YouTube are my only income sources. I'll need to find a part-time job in the new year, though. That's awesome, man. Sometimes it's for the best for your mental health, and just step away and make some money elsewhere. So Quiet Money KB says, can you give the best advice on how to change the substrate on an established tank? So that is a question that I see answered often. And my best advice would be slowly. So if you can, take some out, add some more, and just keep an idea of what area you're looking for or what area you've done. But a lot of times what will happen is, as soon as you start stirring up that substrate, you're going to see some fluctuations and may have bacterial infections. So my best advice would be to take all the shrimp out, take all the substrate out, and then drip them back to the new tank. So that would be the best advice I can do. Maybe somebody else can weigh in, because my tanks aren't more than a year old, year and a half. And what I did was I noticed that one of my tanks was starting to lose its buffering capabilities. So I just added another layer. Let me move the camera real quick. I just added another layer of substrate on top, and that brought that buffering capability back up. But when I'm going to replace the substrate in a tank, what I'm going to do is just set up another tank, have that going, get that ready, and then transfer all the shrimp over, and then just break down the tank that needs to be replaced down. So if that's not something you can do, I would say just do it slowly. Let's see. Sharpies, fish, and phantoms. It's a Western problem in general. All the pets bought during COVID lockdowns are slowly but surely ending up in shelters. Well, we've always had a problem with overbreeding dogs and backyard breeders, John. And I don't know if it's just our country, but it's not good. So spay and neuter your pets. Yellowstone says, is the water you can refill at Walmart RO water? So when you go look at those machines, a lot of times what you're looking for is it will say reverse osmosis filtered. So that's what you want. And you can get like a TDS pen. I think I got mine up here. Nope. So you can get a TDS pen for 10 to 20 bucks on Amazon, and that's going to tell you the TDS of that RO water. So what I would do is, just go take a gallon jug, fill that up, and then test it, see what it comes out at. The machines that I use test out anywhere from, 10 to 35, which when it gets to the 35 part, I don't like to use it, but sometimes you have to. So when it gets up that high, I like to have it under 20. But if you go to like the drink aisle where they have all of the gallon jugs, if you look, distilled water is basically RO water. So it's water that has everything stripped out of it. So when you distill water, what you do is you evaporate it and you catch the water vapor. So the only thing in that water is water. There's no calcium, no heavy metals, no minerals, nothing. And that's what RO water is. So RODI units use a membrane to catch all that stuff instead. So it's like a giant or a really small filter that takes all those particles out, to where distilled water, it just evaporates the water out of the particles instead. So it's the same concept. It just depends on what's more convenient for you and more cost effective, because distilled water is usually about $1 a piece, $1 a gallon, to where you can go fill up a gallon jug for 35 cents. Which, when you're looking at it, 35 cents or $1, I know we spend money on worse things, so it's really not that big of a cost. But if you're tight on money, then it's a good way to do it. So John says, I'd get a fresh tank, add the new substrate, then move the water, decor, heater, filter, and shrimp across. That's the same thing that I would do, John. I know for some people setting up another tank can be kind of hard. Excuse me. You need a license to breed dogs or cats in the UK. To sell any animals, you need a pet shop license too. That's good. John says you can make distilled water with a moonshine still. Yeah, I think you'd probably use more money and electricity doing that than just going out and buying it, I think the shrimp have adequately swarmed over here. We'll go ahead and remove that macro lens and anything go up a little bit. How's that look? Looks pretty good. Go ahead and drop some food in the next tank, and then we'll move over shortly. I think I'm going to do an update on this tank. Maybe in the next time I feed, I'll record some footage and we'll do a crossbreeding update with the new babies. I wanted them to be a little bit bigger and swarm the food more, because with them being newborns, they're not really swarming the food too much, so I'm not seeing too many of them. And as always, I feed Shrimp King Complete because the shrimp absolutely go crazy for it. I've tried quite a few other foods, and this just seems to be the one that they like the best. Bloop. Oh, watch out. There was a bunch of shrimp up there. I poked my finger in to make the pellet sink, and they all scattered. Oh. All right, let's see. Might be a better way to start off for a couple tanks and get an RO unit when I get more tanks. Absolutely. So I still haven't purchased one. It's in my future. I see it coming. But what I did was I started off with one Caradina tank, and I just purchased the distilled water in the gallon jugs, and a couple gallons every 2 weeks. It wasn't a big deal. And then I started doing weekly water changes, and even then it's $5 a week. It's like nothing for water. John says, old school, use a fire under it and call it a barbecue. Oh, the moonshine. I guess you could, yeah. That's all. I'm just cooking this pot. Just cooking a little pot. Feel free to become a member of the Poseidon's Pets Posse. Thank you so much, Nightbot. You are an amazing robot, and everybody loves you and wishes to grow up to be you someday. I'm glad these guys are breeding because they were starting to be some slow breeders, but as you see, I've got quite a few babies in there, so I'm excited for that. So the next tank, this is one of my favorites, and if you are looking for here, Yellowstone, this is good for you. If you're looking for an easy Caridina shrimp that's super hardy, get some tiger shrimp. So these are my blue aura and tangerine tiger shrimp, and they are absolutely prolific. So these guys breed like rabbits, super fast breeders, always buried, always throwing out shrimp, little shrimplets in there. So, and this is my green aura project. Ooh, look at that shot. So I am crossing my blue aura serrata shrimp with my tangerine tiger shrimp to get green aura shrimp. So you can see that some of those babies there look kind of blue, some of them look kind of yellow, and then we got a combination of the two. Like I was saying, once I get a good swath of genes and crossbreeding, I'm going to start selectively breeding and picking out the ones that I think are going to do best and then going from there. Yeah, that guy on top that just passed by, he looked pretty green. We're doing it. You're doing it, Peter. You're playing with us. Name that movie. Imagine the cop's expression when they twig that his water is still not a moonshine one. Yeah, they put the weight dropper in it, and they're like, this doesn't do anything. Well, it's water. It's from my shrimp tanks. But yeah, if you're doing a copper still, which most moonshine is, probably not the best for your shrimp. Yeah. That's my only apprehension with distilled water. So distilled water, they used to use copper back in the day. I know we've modernized a lot of things, and I don't think they use copper anymore, but I would just keep an eye on the packaging and make sure that wherever you are getting your water from, it doesn't say used copper stills, because you don't want any copper with shrimp. Copper will kill your shrimp. And my Oscars are fighting. What else is new? All right. So thank you so much, Yellowstone, for the question. Anybody else have any questions for me? Anything I could answer? Anything at all? Rumor has it. Random songs playing in my head. That's what I figured, John. So John says most distilled water factories use aluminum. Copper is too expensive. Yeah, especially when they're only charging $1 per gallon for distilled water. I can't imagine that they would have very elaborate setups with copper and anything else. They probably want to cut costs as much as possible. I'm not in the water industry. I'm in the aquatic living things industry. Oh, there's a little tiny baby in there. A little tiny baby. He's so cute. Cute little tiny baby. This orange eye tank is just popping. There's tons of babies in there. Well, that's exciting. Don't see any buried females though. I know with the winter months coming, it can slow down breeding just a little bit because it does get a little bit cooler in here. So hopefully it's not slowing down too much. So black rose are a cross between red and blues. So I would get a lot of those in my black rose tanks. Just cull them out, and then you may eventually have a pure line. But with my black rose, I was constantly culling, and that's because I made them myself. Quiet Money KB says, have you ever had issues with shrimp molting? If so, can you tell me some things to help with the ring of death? So the ring of death is something that's been coined and refers to a shrimp who has a break in its head exoskeleton and the carapace. So what it does is it has a break right here, and then there you can see the meaty bit between the shell. Usually that's from the water parameters fluctuating too much, too fast. So when you do water changes, when you change the water, you want to make sure that the water is very consistent. So whatever water you're putting back in needs to be the same as the water that is already in your tank. So it's not necessarily a death sentence. It just means that the shrimp is stressed out and it didn't molt very well. I've seen it in shrimp and they've never died. So it's just a sign that, you know, something swung too quick. So your water parameters fluctuated too fast. To prevent that, you can drip the water back in. So when you do water changes, just make sure to slowly drip the water back in. Don't do large changes, and try to keep the water as consistent as possible. And as far as helping with it, like once it happens, it happens. There's nothing you can really do. Just, you know, try to prevent it next time, and just keep an eye on the shrimp. If it dies, pull it out. But it's not necessarily a death sentence. I know people see it and they freak out. They're like, ring of death. But it just means that shrimp is stressed out and something happened. Brian Dodson says, did I miss the giveaway? No, Brian, you didn't, because I don't do them. Eventually, I'd like to get into giveaways, but not at the moment. My culling is selling. I ain't selling the good ones to the LFS. Yes, absolutely. They get all the rejects. I won the Bentley. Yeah, I'm giving away Teslas, not Bentleys. It's good for the environment. Is it sad that I'm bored of this tank already? I want to go back to the Black King Kongs. These guys are so pretty. There we go. See, that's better. Yeah, the blue ores and the tangerines are fun to watch, but they were my favorite for so long, so I was just focusing on those for a long time. But yeah, this my favorite tank is usually the one that was not breeding for a while, and then all of a sudden it's exploding. So for the tangerines and the blue auras just being prolific breeders, I'm a little bored of them. Like, where's the challenge? Where's the fun? You guys just keep having babies and you're just having a grand old time, which I love. I love them for that. That's awesome. Somebody drank all my drink. His name is Squishy, and I will make him mine. All right, let's see. So I feel like my other tank is kind of boring. It's just the crystal blacks and the crystal reds. And then my dragon blood tank, the blue calcios, sponsored by Shelly over at Lucky Aquatics, has a new addition to it. And I haven't really revealed it on the channel yet, so I can't show you that tank. I can't see that one just yet. So do me a favor. So 1 through 4, tell me which tank you want to see. So 1, crystal tank. 2, tangerine tiger blue aura tank. 3, we'll stay on the tank we're on. 4, blue bolts. So 1 crystals, 2 blue auras, 3 this tank, 4 blue bolts. Jamie says you should cross the blue aura with blue bolts and make blue steels. 5. You can't see 5. 5 is not revealed. Maybe I'll send you a picture later, Jamie. Give you a sneak peek. 1, 2, 3, 4. All of the above. 4. Dana says she wants to see they want to see the blue bolts again. Which they're swarming pretty good. I could show the blue bolts again. So we got 1 volt for blue bolts. 1 for all 4 tanks. John says 4 and 2. Four it is. We'll go back to the blue bolts, which is an easy move. Look at that pile of scrap. Look at them scraps. So this was my second Caradina tank I ever set up. So that is why there's so many shrimp in this tank, because it has been running for the longest amount of time, as well as my crystal tank. But my crystal tank became so prolific that I had a nitrate spike and started to lose shrimp. So that was where I started doing my weekly water changes, because what I noticed was with topping off shrimp or topping off the water, my TDS started to climb, as well as my nitrates started to climb. So doing my weekly water changes, I'm slowly taking those nitrates out, and the shrimp love the clean water, which is nice. Jamie says, support the channel, hit that like button. Thank you so much, Jamie. Definitely appreciate it. And we've got Baris, I think it's Baris. So, hey, Baris, thanks for joining. Big Daddy Mark from Mark Shrimp Tanks. Hey, buddy. So, yes, go ahead and hit the like button. Leave me a comment later. All that good stuff. ADA Flynn, how are you? Let's go ahead and take this macro lens off. See how that looks. That looks worse. Oh, gosh. Back it up. Back it up. There we go. That was not too bad. Now you can see all the blue bolts. And who wants to count all these? So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Stop moving. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. At least 50. At least 50 shrimp in this tank. John says, Marky Mark. Mark says you need a few more mods. I kill spammers on site. Yeah, I don't even know how to make people mods. Oh, God. I'm sure I could figure it out, though. So how is everybody doing this fine day? Anything shrimp related that you're doing? Anything exciting? There we go. Now I got a few more mods, Mark. Don't abuse your power. You know who you are. So yes, if you would like to become a member of the Poseidon's Pets Posse, you can have all of these lovely emojis. All my members out there, let's get an emoji bomb going for Nightbot. Thank you, Nightbot. Mark's going to ruin my channel. He's going to come in and start banning everybody. It's like, oh, take out the competition. I can never compete with you, Mark. It's like, Jamie says, I am stuck working today. I feel you, Jamie. Yes, John, you are a wrench wench. Thank you, Quiet Money. So Quiet Money says, whoops, what's your favorite shrimp? I like the purple boa. So my favorite shrimp at the moment, because it does change, is the red calcio shrimp. So they have been one of my favorites for a while. And I just love looking at them because they have a clear body with a bright red kind of pinto pattern. So with these clear shrimp, you can see the saddles, you can see like all the insides, and I think that's really cool to be able to see the inside of the shrimp. I know it's weird, but I think it's really cool to see the inside. Ryan, you've been a mod for a while. So Ryan says, if I was a mod, I could. Not sure if Kyle made me one or not. Yeah, I think you were one of my first. ADA was a spammer. Oh, I didn't even see that they put a link out. Yeah, don't click on that. Let's see. Ryan, give ADA the boots. Spam troll hacker. Nice. 2 mods in the same day. Yes, queen. Let's see. Yellowstone says, hey, Mark. Okay, got to run again. Be back in a bit. Thanks for stopping in, Jamie. Definitely appreciate it. Brian says, my golden wonder killies are breeding. How exciting. That's awesome. All right. So these guys are taking the food and wanting to move it all around the tank. So I will give you guys the option again now that we've got some new people in here. So I've got Crystal Tank, Blue Auras and Tangerine Tigers, and then my Black King Kong Extremes and Orange Eye Blue Tigers. So let's do, show me a 1 for the Crystal Tank, show me a 2 for the Tangerine Tiger and Blue Auras, or 3 for the Black King Kong Extreme and Orange Eye Blue Tigers. What do you guys want to see? One, 2, or 3? You tell me. It's like the choose your ending at the back of a book. Quiet Money says 1. Mark says 3. So we got 1 vote for 1, 1 vote for 3, and Brian's vote doesn't count. It was a mistrial. Miscount. Oscars. Brian says, wait, what? I'm a mod? When did that happen? Brian says 2. So I got 1 vote for 2, 1 vote for 1, 1 vote for 3. I need somebody for a tiebreaker. 1, 2, or 3. Who's going to break the tie? Who's it going to be? I vote for John. Vote for John to get the boot. Brian, you can't vote twice. The vote doesn't count twice. I will be the tiebreaker, and we are going to go to the Crystal Tank. So So unless there's any objections, watch out, shrimp. And the food went straight for the corner. Did anybody see that? I almost killed myself. Come here, you little food bugger. Almost took myself out with some aquascaping tools. Not cool. All right, so we will let the shrimp kind of swarm on that for a second. I'm just going to scroll up because I feel there was a couple questions that I missed. So Mark asked, so what do you think of Akadama? So Akadama is a good brand. It is definitely very versatile. It's been around for a while. There's all kinds of different soils that you can get with Akadama. And I've never used it. So I don't really have a preference on that type of soil. I know with it being a soil that releases ammonia, it is better for plants. So if you want to have a planted shrimp tank, it's better for that. But I definitely don't have patience when it comes to setting up tanks, and having to wait 30 days to set up a tank because of ammonia is not something that I like to do. So with Brightwell, I can, if I have a cycled sponge, I can basically throw shrimp in a tank within a week or so, as long as, I'm not adding too much stuff at once. So that's why I tend to stay away from any soil that leaches ammonia, but I know it's been around, and it's one of those soils that is well known, unless I'm thinking of something else. But Yellowstone says, I've got some baby amanos. Very nice. Good luck with that. I hope it works out for you. Definitely keep us updated. John says, my bristlenose are breeding. Quiet Money says 1. Brian 7. Mike 3. Wait, what am I on? Ryan asks, what kind of bristlenose do you have, Sharpie? Angie says 2. So much pressure. Dana says 3. John says he's got all kinds of bristlenose. Brian says, same thing with environment soil from Glass Garden. That's what I use. So, Brian, are you saying that the environment soil doesn't release ammonia, that it's able to go right away? Bob Moss, how are you, buddy? This guy. Yeah, Emoji Bob. Emoji bomb for Bob. Yay. If you would love to use any of these emojis, feel free to become a member of the Poseidon's Pets Posse and contribute to my shrimp tanks. Sharpie happens to have a super red LF male for sale, about 6 juveniles with him. I look, they're all females. He's in Scotland, Ryan, so I don't know if you can get him, or Europe, something like that. Mossmeister. Now, how do I mod? Right, it doesn't leach ammonia. Good. Should I renew my CFL season tickets? They're knocking $500 off, but I have a baby in the way. Welcome back, Grant. Yeah, so UK. I knew it was overseas somewhere. Oh, no. Well, I hope you guys feel better, Bob. I know that's no fun when you're sick. Hopefully everything goes good. Sub for sub. What an excellent way to use your member chat, Mark. That's absolutely awesome. All right. So I think, oh my gosh, Jesus. I was going to say, I think the crystals have adequately swarmed. So yeah, let's go ahead and move the camera. And I got to fix the lights real quick, because I like to put as much light on my shrimp as possible when I'm showing you guys. So I move both lights over. There's one light, and let's not electrocute the shrimp. Come on. I'm on a tether. No electrocuting shrimp. I'm dipping cords in water. Let's not do that. No shrimp electrocutions today. Not today, Satan. Or electrocute myself. Let's not do that either. So many shrimp in this tank. So if Mark, what are you doing? This is not fair, sir. I am the one that is supposed to send you money. Thank you so much, Mark, for the 100 Danish kroners. Is that what that is? Definitely appreciate it. You're awesome. All right, so let's see. That's evil, Mark. Okay, never mind. Yeah, you'd have to go to the UK to get his bristle nose, Ryan. I got stabbed by a soldier today. Second Rona job. Hey, saw a post on Facebook where you can get choya wood from Hobby Lobby. Anyone heard, seen it there? That is $1,000 US. I don't think that's right, but I will trust your input in saying so, but I'm going to go ahead and verify right now. It's you forgot a decimal. Yes. So it's $11 US. Thank you so much for the super chat. You're awesome. And congrats on getting your second Rona shot, John. That's awesome. Way to be a team player. So what I was going to say before Mark decided to give me money was this tank was my most prolific. So this tank was just doing really good. You know, I had tons of shrimp in it, which I still have tons of shrimp in here. But I noticed that some of my older adults started to die off, and some of my really young shrimp, the babies, started to die off. And I couldn't figure out what it was. I didn't change anything. So what I ended up doing was I checked all the water parameters. I came to find out that my TDS had jumped up to 145, and I was showing some nitrates. So not a lot of nitrates, but I was showing some. And in a shrimp tank, you usually don't want to show any nitrates at all. So what I did was I just started doing weekly water changes instead of every 2 weeks. So my first water change I did 3 gallons, which is 30%, which is more than I normally would. I usually do about 20%. So I did a 3-gallon water change on this tank, and then just proceeded to do 2 gallons every week. And if you look, you can see tons of buried females. So almost all the females in here are carrying eggs. They're all doing good. Oh, my phone's dying. Never plugged it in. So they are doing absolutely amazing with tons of babies. And so I'm excited that, you know, I saw a problem, I addressed it, and it was an easy fix. I didn't overthink it like I normally do. And I was able to correct it with few casualties. I'm a little upset that I lost some of my adults because I had a very high grade red shrimp. So I had a red shrimp that had just a red band on its head. The rest of the body was white. So that would be considered a higher grade crystal red. And so I was getting some cool babies out of that. And I started to cull the babies and put them in the tank. And so I was upset when she passed, but definitely glad everything's back in track. I'm going to have to cull this tank here soon, though, because if you look, some of the blacks have that brown red in them. And with that, you know, stripe on there, we want to pull that out because that's going to muddle the genetics, and we don't want that. John says, the way things are going, Mark, it won't be long. Sharpie's fishing phantoms. What leg workouts can I do with a messed up toe? I don't know, squats. What's wrong with your toe? How does that affect workouts? Just work out. Suck it up. Stop you moving. So one of the reasons I don't show this tank often is because they are such aggressive eaters that I can't get footage of it. So I can't I can't have them sit still long enough for me to record anything for them. Thank you, Nightbot. Nightbot says, send me money. Bob says, broken toe, can't do effing squats. You need to do a drama video of like Bob raging in your live stream. I was about to say, Grant, like between the two of you guys are both broken. Is that a popular thing now? Just break your lower extremities. Roast me, Kyle. Bob, you do that yourself, man. Your name is Bob Moss Nanotanks, and I don't think you've even showed one nanotank in any of your videos. Plus, you spend money on the Canadian Football League, which is basically like the Walmart of football. Is that good enough for you? It's all in good fun. Bob knows I'm joking. Grant, you definitely should, man. Grant says he wants to try walking next week. I've been doing it my whole life. It's definitely beneficial. John says, I was breaking bones before it became cool. I'm OG. If pee in your pants is cool, I'm Miles Davis. Canada has a football league? Thank you for proving my point, Angie. See, Bob, you do it to yourself, man. I don't have to roast you. Just kidding. I love you, Bob. We've been going for about an hour. It's been a good stream. Definitely appreciate all you guys jumping in here. I didn't say anything about Tim Hortons. Bob says no one insults the most Canadian thing in Canada and gets away with it. Nobody mentioned Tim Hortons. It's fine. I won't go there. Handball. Yeah, it's a pickleball, Mark. All right. Bored of this tank. On to the next. So the tiger shrimp have started to swarm a little bit better than they were before. Now you can see all those babies in there. Can you focus, please? Focus. Just gotta focus. Wait, I thought you just started. No, I've been going for about an hour. But I've got no plans today, and Amber's still sleeping, so I'm having fun. I don't mind keep streaming. I'll keep talking and hanging out with you guys until I get bored. Bob says, "Shots fired! Shots fired!" We need to do a stream together, Bob. I think your shenanigans and my shenanigans together would make for some fun content. Actually, since I'm basically done with my stream, if somebody wants to jump in here, I will share the link and anybody can jump in and we can talk, whatever you want to do. So if someone wants to jump in, chat with me for a little bit before I end it, we can do that. If there's multiple people, we can figure it out. Maybe I'll do a a four square thing. Just let me know who you are before you jump in, because if I don't recognize you and nobody can vouch for you, I don't want to take the risk of anybody showing anything on stream. Bob says, I don't think it lets me join Streamlabs because my cam is in use by OBS. Twitch is just what you do when you weight bear on your toe, Bob. You could always click the link and see, Bob, if you want to. I'm content with just talking to myself and you guys and staring at shrimp too. It's usually what I do. Yeah, this tank is really blowing up. If you see, you can see all the potential green auras in it. Let me see if I can get a close up of some of these babies. Possibly. I wish it would let me focus, like autofocus, but it doesn't. I can see some of them there. It's still super blurry. Oh, are you streaming on Twitch right now? Yeah, if you're already streaming on something, it's not going to let you. I think that's worse. Yep. That's why I do update videos. So that's one thing I'm excited for when I move is being able to hardwire in and get a better autofocusing lens, or a lens that doesn't autofocus. Because when I use StreamYard, it doesn't allow me to actually focus the camera. It just kind of does its own thing, which with iOS and the camera that they use, it's their cameras autofocus is the main thing because it wants to grab the background. So it always tries to go for the Substrate in the back. Grant says, I'm going to move all my greens to black. They just don't look good on the brown substrate. You know, if you look at this tank, there is so many babies, like hundreds of babies in this tank, but you can't see them because of the substrate. So I'm with you, Grant. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to buy some of the espresso, or I think they call it Escafe or something. And I'm going to do a layer right there in front. So I'm just going to put a thin layer of the black right here in front. So that way it pops a little bit more. I think I'll do that. I'll see how much a bag of the black is, and I'll just buy that. And then I'm just going to put it in front because the rest of my shrimp all look good on the brown. It's just the tangerines are the only ones that don't stand out on that brown. So I think I'm going to do the same thing. And if you add a little bit of substrate at a time, usually you're okay. I may pre-soak it in some RO just to be safe because I don't want to risk anything happening to this tank. Escaro. Yeah, that's the word I was trying to say. Whatever that word is. I think I'm going to buy a bag of that, and I'm going to do the same thing. But instead of swapping the whole substrate out, I'm just going to put a thin layer on top so that way I can see better. Because there's no point in changing it all out. It's doing its job. I just wish I could see the oranges a little bit better. Because you can see them moving around, but there's absolutely tons of babies in this tank. Which I love tigers for that. Because they breed so prolifically. I got to get like 40 bags here soon. Yeah, I've got a couple pallets in my future too, so I'm with you, man. Bob says OBS lets you focus. Yeah, I'll probably switch over to Streamlabs when I get the shrimp setup going. Hey, Farva, what's that restaurant called with all the fancy crap on the walls? Oh, you mean shenanigans? Oh. Well, so just because I'm not showing that tank off today doesn't mean I shouldn't feed it. So there you go, guys. My bad. Poor Dragon Bloods. So if you are just joining my stream, I am not showing the Dragon Blood tank today because I've got some exciting stuff to announce about it. And I may or may not have decided to crossbreed them with something else. You'll just have to subscribe to my channel and wait and see. Yes, definitely. Grant says, I will be breaking down 3 racks this weekend and going to build a larger rack in their place. That's awesome. Well, I hope the breakdown goes smoothly. I know with your ankle and everything, and things have been difficult. So hopefully you got some help and you're not struggling too bad. Bob, do you use OBS for Twitch as well? Is that what you use to stream Twitch? Maybe I will mess around with Streamlabs and see what I could come up with. Because so the reason I don't use OBS is because I'm on Wi-Fi. So I know streaming over Wi-Fi is not the greatest, but I have a MacBook that I'm using. And in order to plug in my Ethernet cable, you have to have an adapter. Now, here's the catch. I run Windows on my MacBook. So when I plug that adapter in, Windows doesn't understand what's happening. So in order for me to use an Ethernet cable, I need to switch over to OS, the MacBook operating system. And I don't know how to use that very well because I've always used Windows. I know it's having a MacBook and then using Windows is it's like blasphemy, but it works for me. Yeah, we don't want you hurting yourself, Grant. Mark says take it easy. Grant says Shelby's off for my birthday and my plan. Definitely a shrimp keeper. I read plans as plants. Plans to go fishing are canceled since I can't walk, let alone swim or do anything. Yeah, that's rough, man. I know how it is when you're hurt. It's no fun. Bob says I used it for screen recordings first and slowly expanded my uses. Nice. Grant, have you ever raised a manos? So Shelby will be doing everything basically. You need a new laptop. I think I'm just going to get a desktop computer, Mark. I'm going to get something a little bit stronger as long as I could find it. I've actually got one here, so maybe I'll just use that one. Grant says no monos would take up too much room. I think it would be fun to try to breed a monos. That's a little bit better. Now you can see the tons of babies that are in this tank. It's just absolutely swimming with babies. It's probably why my floaters are growing so well. You guys want to see a sneak peek? Sneak peek? Did you see it? Did you see it? How good your pause game? Shh, don't tell anybody. Ryan knows what I did. Ryan was there when I got him. Bob says, I have the worst problem to fix for my job and I do not even want to start. That sucks. At least you have the time to take the time to do it. It's not like you have to jump on it right away. Thank you, Nightbot, for soliciting me and my channel. Bob says, IT stuff, they changed the server config, so now there's a perimeter limit. Fun stuff. I went to school for coding and graphic design, and I enjoyed it, but I don't know much. So there's not much that I can do with it, but I definitely enjoyed writing code and having fun with it. It's not fun. Not at all. Well, not when you're fixing other people's mistakes. Like, hire somebody who can write code competently so you don't have to fix it. Worked fine for 10 years. Might as well toss a parameter limit on there for no reason. Yellowstone says, I'm attempting the Amano challenge. Are you, Yellowstone, are you documenting that anywhere? Do you have a YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram? I'm curious to follow the progress and see how it's going, because I think it's neat to watch some of those pupa breeders. If you're streaming longer, I will share this stream. I'm probably going to cut it here soon, Mark. So I stream every Wednesday at 10 a.m., which is about an hour and a half ago. So whatever time that is for you, it was an hour and a half ago is when I started. So if you would love to jump in and hang out, you're more than welcome to. And I definitely appreciate the support and you wanting to share it. That means a lot to me. But I got some stuff I got to do around the house, so I'll probably hang out here for a little bit longer and then cut out. I'm having fun. Asked them why they changed it, and they didn't even have a good reason. They just hemmed and hawed. That sounds about right. They just want to, they want to continue to employ your services. Yeah, that's dinner time here. That's why I missed the start. I usually stream for about an hour and a half, something like that. Depending on what time I wake up, I may start at 10:15. I try not to go farther than 10:15 because I know in the summer months, that's a little bit later in the day for some people. Bob says, an actual Karen hit reply all to this email and said some dumb stuff. She's going to get a talking to. Oh, that's how it works, But yeah, Mono, if you have a YouTube channel or Facebook or anything, feel free to message me on there. Keep me updated. I'd like to see how it goes and how you're doing. Mark says, how are you dealing with the YouTube formula? In regards to what way, sir? As far as the algorithm and how I get viewers and stuff like that? Is that what you're referring to? Yellowstone says, I have a channel, but no videos on the Amanos, just filming them right now. Hoping to catch a good shot of them releasing, and it would be nice to get a lens so I can show off the Zoes better. So what I use is, I got this on Amazon. I think Amber bought it for me for Christmas, but it's a little macro lens you just attach to your phone. So if you're using your phone to record your videos, this works really well for macro shots. The only thing with this is you got to be like right up next to whatever you're trying to get. So you've got to be within like a couple inches. So you better hope that it's right up against the glass. I know a lot of small creatures like the protozoas and stuff, they're attracted to light. So maybe you can get them to come to the light that way. Mark says, yes, I have a book here if you want it, from Daryl Eves, the YouTube formula. Yeah, I would absolutely love that. It'd be a good read for sure. Cause I kind of have a good understanding of the algorithm and what to look for, but any extra insight into it would be great. I've done a little bit of research, but not too much. I'm kind of just hoping that consistency and putting out good content will spread my channel with, word of mouth. And I'm not in a hurry to become YouTube famous. I'm not in a hurry to grow my channel too quick. But I definitely enjoy creating content. I enjoy coming in here and talking to you guys and hanging out. And I love the fact that I can create content and record my videos, show my personality, have fun making a video, and turn around and have that video, give me a little bit of income. So that way I can continue to create that content, continue to have content to make. Because I just got a check from YouTube for, $100. That's what they pay out at. And I went and bought $100 worth of shrimp. So having that ability to, drop $100 on shrimp without even thinking about it, because it's basically extra money. It's money I wouldn't have had because YouTube paid for it. So it's nice to be able to have that extra income to be able to, put it back into the hobby and put it back into my content for you guys, which, this is a great community we have. I enjoy creating content and hanging out and having fun. Bob says, I noticed analytics falling off, so I unlisted all my lower view count videos that were over a year old and stopped live streaming. Just give the people 10 plus minute informative things. Analytics have picked up a bit since. You want your videos to get recommended and then them click on the recommendations. The browse feature is the most powerful part of YouTube right now. Good content is king over everything you hear about tags, etc. I do really well through the search, but my browse was weak, so I'm working on that. Yeah, tags barely matter at all in modern YouTube. Yellowstone says, yeah, the macro lens for the phone is what I've been looking at. And yes, those are attracted to light, so I can bring them close to the glass. Perfect. Yeah, so that's what I would do, Yellowstone, is, use that macro lens and then just get them attracted to the front and see if you can get some good shots of them. Because I think that would make for some good footage. Even if it's like a YouTube short, that would be cool. Grant said, how long ago did you get monetized? Was it after you started doing lives? So live streaming is a great way to bring up your hours. So to get monetized, you need 4,000 hours. So live streaming is a great way to hit that benchmark, because like right now I've got 15 people in here. If I live stream for an hour and a half, that's what, 22 hours that I get right there in one day. So you need to average 4,000 hours over a year. So if you start live streaming more, you're going to get more of those views. And that's where it helps, because hitting the 1,000 subs, that's easy. It's the views that can be kind of difficult for some people. And I found that live streaming was a good way to hit that benchmark. Bob says there are different focal length macro lenses as well. I have a 10 times, a 15 times, and the 10 times macro, I can be a bit further away. Kyle doing math, yeah. Grant says I was at 370 out of 400. Yeah, you'll get there. It's just a matter of, throwing up the live streams and you'll get some of those views. I've had a few shorts that have really taken off, but if you look at shorts, even if it's a minute long, if it gets 60,000 views, that's really not a whole lot of views, not a lot of hours. So your best thing to do is, just come on here and talk with people, because people will jump in and hang out, especially you yourself, Grant, because you've made a name for yourself in the hobby, and people want to pick your brain and talk to you. And live streams are a good way to connect with your viewers as well as your subs. It may not be the best for analytics, like Bob says, but it's a great way to build your community, because I almost turned my laptop to fix the camera. It's a great way to connect with your community, so that way you can, get to know everybody and they can ask you questions in real time. Because trying to type out answers to some of these things is hard. YouTube promotes shorts a lot. Yes, they do. I was doing a short a day, but I didn't see it really helping me too much, because it wasn't translating into subs. It wasn't translating into views on my other videos. It was just, that was all it was doing. And I kind of didn't want to play into the YouTube Shorts game because they're not paying us. They're not paying us. We're not monetized for shorts. Like, I enjoy making shorts and they're fun and quirky, but they need to work on their uploading software, because trying to add music through the short system is hard. You basically have to add your own music, and that, like, if they're trying to be like TikTok, just do that. Be like TikTok. Tater Salad, thank you so much, man. How are you, buddy? Welcome to the stream. Shorts is paid. Mark, I've got a short that has almost 60,000 views, I think, and it's not generating any revenue. So I'm not sure how it's how they factor it in there, but I'm not worried about it. I enjoy just creating shorts, and they're fun, and it's a great way to do just some like quick feeding videos and stuff. Yeah, one of my shorts was me just picking up shrimp. It was a video of me going to pick up shrimp and dripping and introducing them to the tank, and everybody just loved it. Grant says, I got the mic and everything, just need to set up a spot. My old spot is where the new rack is going. So I'm doing a little temporary spot. Just Shelby has been so busy. It takes her almost 2 hours just to feed everything. So Grant, here I'll show you my setup. So just so you can get an idea of what it takes to stream. And so if you look, my laptop is on a couple boxes. I've got a little TV stand. I got my ring light, and then just like a kitchen chair in front of my tank. So it doesn't take much. You don't have to have this big elaborate setup, to stream. You just throw something together and it'll work out. As long as it looks good on camera, it doesn't matter what it looks like behind the scenes. Nobody's gonna come in here and judge me on my laptop boxes. And if you do, oh well, it works out for me. Thanks again, Tater, for the 100 Danish kronos. You're awesome, man. I definitely appreciate it. And I miss you. I haven't seen you around too much. I hope you're doing well. Are you putting hashtag shorts in the description? Yeah. I was doing shorts for quite a while. And like I said, they're fun. I enjoy it. Bob says, yes, I'm COVID negative. Congrats, man. I'm glad. My issue is I got that 140-pound dog running around. Geez, what kind of dog do you have? That's massive. Yeah, I worry about that sometimes. Grant says it's got to be stable, because if the dog comes in here and knocks things over, like this table, like just by using my mouse, like look how that's wobbly. So eventually I'll have a better setup. But yes, it is very ghetto. And Tater, you've known me for a long time now. And if you know anything about me, I am not an aesthetics person. I am utilitarian all the way. If it looks good, that's awesome. But as long as it serves a purpose, I'm happy. And at the moment, this stack of boxes has been what I've been using to stream for the last 6 months or so. And it works for me. I've got a space for my drink, food, macro lens, my mouse. I don't need much. I could be happy with very little. Dogos Argentinos. That sounds made up. Bob says, oh my God, my wife is so mad. She's mad I'm negative, and her and her sister were positive. They both suck. Well, hopefully you continue to stay negative, Bob. Let's go back to the crystals. Oh, them pretty females in there are going to be dropping me some babies soon. Nightbot wants you to spend your money on me. Thank you, Nightbot. It's a test tube puppy. It's made up of 15 different genetic breeds. Oh, geez. Bob says, I'm going to lock myself in the basement. Splash holy water on them. I think Everclear or, Purell would be better option than holy water. Just Lysol them. You need a decontamination unit before they come down. Mark says, they are really nice. Are they pure red line or pure black line? So they started out as just low grade crystal blacks and crystal reds. And I've actually been culling this tank for almost 2 years now. So I cull exclusively anything that doesn't have 3 stripes. So if it doesn't have 3 stripes, I pull it out. If the blacks look brown, I pull them out. If the reds look faded, I pull them out. So just over time, I've created this line of just super dark blacks with 3 bands, super dark reds with 3 bands. And I cull it pretty religiously. So I'm curious to see what happens if I was to separate the reds and the blacks. Because I don't know, maybe I did create the pure lines over time. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Yeah, they're looking really nice. I hate to say it, but when this tank crashed, a lot of the shrimp that died were not of desired colors. You can see that I still have some of the genetics from my original group of shrimp. So if you look at, like I just saw it walk away there for a second. So that one in the back, you see how it's got the 2 dots on its head? That came from my really high grade crystal red I had. So some of them have those 2 dots on the back of their head, and that's the genetics from that higher grade crystal red I had. So those dots are still in some of the genes. Bob says I have microband spray. Yeah, 140-pound dog. You have to make sure that thing is trained properly because my dog's 60 pounds and she's a little crazy. Brian says he's getting his booster shot. Well, I hope you feel fine after it, man. I know Amber's booster kicked her butt. Mark says, what is this with this booster stuff? We just had our last vaccination a few months back. So I wasn't part of the beta testers. I was one of the holdouts for the vaccine. So we've had it for quite a while now, but I wanted other people to kind of go through it and see what happens. So I knew what to expect. So I just got my second shot not too long ago as well. So I've got a few months before I can get my booster, but Amber's been vaccinated since day 1. I've played enough video games to know that you don't play the game when it's in beta. You just don't. You wait. You let other people figure out the bugs first. Yeah, looking at this tank though, I didn't realize how good of a job I did culling. But even now looking at it, I see some of them that have the faded red, have the brownish black, and it's like, I want to pull those out. But that's my perfectionism and OCD, which as a shrimp breeder, that's good because you're looking for that stuff and you're looking to cull out the ones that don't fit your standards. Yeah, they're looking pretty good. I can't believe how many buried females are in there too. But I'm glad I fixed it. I'm glad I fixed this tank because this was my favorite tank for a while. This is my first line of Carradina shrimp I have, so they're kind of sentimental to me. So when the tank started to crash, I was pretty torn up about it. But it seems to be doing good now, so that's good. All right, guys, it's been a hour and 35 minutes, and I got to use the restroom, so I'm going to go ahead and call the stream. So I want to give a big shout out to all of my members. So you guys are awesome. I definitely appreciate you, and all of you that jumped in today. You know, you're great. Shelly over at Lucky Aquatics, Bob Moss, Hulk Logan Aquatics, Robert Redmond, Tater Salad, Jamie Anderson, my lovely wife Amber, Mark from Mark Shrimp Tanks. You guys are awesome. Definitely appreciate all of you. And as far as, you know, Mark and Tater Salad for doing the super chats, you guys are great. I definitely appreciate it. And I know I say it all the time, but any money that comes towards me, anything that, you know, gets sent my way, I invest it back into the shrimp business. So everything goes back to my tanks. I try not to use any of that money for anything else because that's there for YouTube and creating content. So thank you guys so much. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye. Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Bye.